Welcome to Fin Business. Another interesting conversation, another interesting personality here with us who is going to talk to us something about very unique part of the financial services business, that is agriculture. So we have Mr. Himanshu here with us for Fin Business. Himanshu is heading the business of Weather Company, which is an IBM business in India. Welcome to Fin Business, Himanshu.
Thank you, Babu. Pleasure to be here.
So Himanshu, I saw this wonderful logo of Weather Company, and it says weather means business, and a lot of your messaging also emphasizes on that. So how is weather as an asset being leveraged by the businesses, especially in the financial sector, by visionary leaders, lenders and insurers?
Agriculture, we are an agrarian economy, and agriculture has been always affected by weather. Rather, agriculture happens with weather. The unique thing about season change in India is something which has started affecting those businesses, starting from marginal to bigger farmers as well. And it pretty much affects the entire ecosystem, right, to the inflation point as well for the government's economy. Now, what we are seeing is that with the accurate weather data providence, as well as our ability to predict ahead 15 days plus seasons as well, we believe that we can give a lot of value to these businesses, right from the farm point of view to people who trade in commodities, about what the weather onset would be like. And watching some historical trends as well, we can correlate a lot of data about the ability of farm to produce A or B or C crop, and probably do an advanced advisory to the farmers about what they should grow so that the supply is not so much that the prices crash. So a good equilibrium can be established with the modernness of data science and our ability to provide high accurate data right to any lat long on the surface of Earth's crust and any part of India. So I think the whole ecosystem will benefit with what we are bringing on the ground for our businesses. And it definitely means business because it helps you to plan, it helps you to be ready, and it also helps you to prepare for any crisis which probably is predicted as well.
Weather related information is no news to anybody in the country today. Okay, so what is that unique feature that people like companies like Weather Company would bring into the ecosystem with which the sector can benefit a lot?
Right. So, we respect a lot of our competition, including the advisory which comes from the government side. I think the art and science of weather prediction is about getting a lot of data and then getting science out of it and getting information out of it and getting it in realistic time. The speed of assessment of what that data is bringing to you on the ground is something really matters. So we've mastered that craft. Our platform is the world's second largest IoT system known to mankind today, which addresses over 29 billion queries a day coming from our customers, coming from our apps, etc. So all the sourcing of data which we do is done on a periodic basis.
One side is your supremacy in the weather side, and the other side is you have this new acquisition by IBM. You are a new acquired company by IBM. So what kind of speciality does an IBM business get into the weather business now?
Right. So the good thing with IBM is we have every kind of customers, right from enterprise to SMB, governments, aviation, all these sectors we cater to with our technology and products. So most of our customers we find have something to do related to weather. And with we having them as customers, there's a high relevance and relationship for us to take some solutions to them, or rather inquire from them what sort of solutions they've been using, because a lot of our customers already consume weather data from a lot of competitors of ours. So the whole idea is that taking further business proposition and outcome-based proposition to our customers who definitely have either been consuming or haven't thought of consuming or are thinking about consuming. So it's a lot of comfort level from that point of view and high confidence from our side to really deliver some value to them.
Interesting. And any interesting perspectives from the analytics piece of the IBM's business, which they are very popular about, or Watson or whatever it is?
Right.
So any such insights also which adds upon or pads upon your existing information?
Absolutely. And I think that drove us to acquire this company. We have a leadership in, predictive analytics as well as cognitive with Watson. And whether with the realistic data puts a lot of science in our ability to churn data and give decisions to businesses.
So that comes to my last two questions. One is about what is the interesting thing that you have seen happening in the insurance sector, where whether company has empowered the insurance sector with something very interesting, or they have done something out of the box with this kind of solutions that you have done.
I think on insurance, we've done very simple solution, but it sounds like out of box. I mean, if you look at our country, the only reminders we get from our insurance players is about making the payment on time. They never, the general insurance and life insurance doesn't inform us about, are you safe or would you be safe because something else will happen, etc. So I think the first level is advisory. We are encouraging and coaching our customers to look at that science of reaching out to customer and improve engagement. So that is the first part, and that's something really nice for a customer to have, that you are being advancedly warned about high water flooding maybe in Andheri East today, with the heavy rains, etc. So that's a good advisory, good to be knowing. The second thing which we are doing is on the risk side. So like Chennai floods, a lot of claims came, a lot of claims were settled. Now, were all of them genuine is a question. So we are going back to our customers and saying, if you are in those areas where there's relative challenge on assessment of whether a vehicle was drowned or there was something bad which was to be insured, and you have to go back in history and check. So the ability we bring to our customers is go back in history for a lat long. So someone claiming that my car was drowned, so we can actually go back in history and say whether in that lat long was there rain enough to drown a car, or there was a situation which brought water there. So in terms of risk advisory and assessment, I think it brings a lot of value to the insurer.
From the banking perspective, is there anything different than this advisory about weather related?
We also, with a lot of good data available from our satellites, so we have partnerships with our solution providers where we can go back in history of 3, 4, 5 years to really see the part of that land, whether there was drought on the land or the land was able to produce what crops. So we can do, let's say, a 30-meter resolution to even identify what crops were grown in last 3, 4 years. So it really helps the actuarian and the insurer and the loan provider in a bank typically to really be aware what his risks are, and then decide at what rate someone would give a loan. Plus in banking, there's a lot of forward decisions. So for example, with seasonal forecast, a bank who's probably trading commodities or they're interested in any commodity check in the food market, I mean, it's a lot of great advisory. They can go back in history, look at the weather, look at the location and say, this is how, and this is the reason the prices went up, and, what do we do? The other big area is, in the farm sector, bank does a lot of work with pesticide companies. Now, what's becoming unique is with weather, there's a lot of science available in a region, for example, because of certain soil, certain crop will catch certain insects. And this is actually known today by the sale of pesticide. So it's sort of a reverse engineering which people do. Now, what we are working with some of the banks and their affiliates whom they give loans for businesses to really try and get the science about what temperature, what humidity, what wind speed an insect in a particular place will develop, and then what you do for prevention, what you do for other ecosystem to do business with. So I think the beauty of what we do with our customers and partners today is that a lot of data is coming together, and the more correlation you do, the more decision-making ability improves and insights improves.
Great. So that means that you are going to forecast a fantastic business ecosystem for the financial services industry by forecasting definitely a better weather condition of the country as well as of all the businesses that they are into.
Correct.
So welcome to this interesting world of empowering the businesses in the financial ecosystem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Babu.